So first up we have I'm using the Human Adept. I'm going to be using Singularity to set up biotic explosions and Shockwave to detonate them. So to that end, the first three powers are pretty fixed, but I picked the increased radius to hit more targets at any given time, recharge speed so that I can cycle them faster, and passive damage for when the explosions doesn't quite have enough power to kill the target. So for Shockwave, I picked the radius again, as many targets as possible at any given time, the increased detonations, and the recharge speed because I want to cycle through the Singularity and Shockwave as fast as possible. Generally favoring power damage and decreased weight. And for fitness, I of course chose the things that increase my health because I'm not going to be using my weapon overly much and I'm not going to be using melee unless I have to. For the weapon, I chose the M358 Talon. This weapon is very good at close range. It's basically a shotgun, but it's also a pistol, which means I have the option of getting the power magnifier. You can choose whatever weapon you like. The power magnifier isn't that big of a deal, but that's the one that I like. And I'm using the Geth scanner because I don't like being snuck up on and being able to see through walls and see through smoke and invisible things, stuff like that. It's all pretty handy. But let's see if we can get into a game real quick and see how this goes. There still seems to be a fairly large community left playing this, although I imagine a lot of them are in the same boat I am, where they're just excited for Andromeda and wanting to play more Mass Effect. And off to a strong start. Biotic explosion right off the bat. We are on wave 3. They're moving to engage in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm sitting back covering this flank, and it actually might be working out. This guy is on his way to my range anyway. Let's see what range. I don't think it was. I think he got killed by the Singularity. The Singularity itself actually does a pretty good bit of damage left to its own. And there you can see the advantage of the Biotic explosion. Still got a bomber and a hunter in one button. If you're going to play a power-based setup, you generally will have to focus on detonating a power combo of some kind. If you don't, then you're just not going to have the damage to be competitive. And you can see the red outlines are caused by the Geth scanner that I picked as my equipment bonus. It's extremely useful. The Geth hunters are one of the main reasons I even have them to begin with. Yelling about pyros, so those are something I get to deal with now. This build is actually really good at dealing with Geth primes too, because they're slow and they summon extra things, but summoning extra things just gives me more things to detonate, which doesn't necessarily help the prime at all. And one of the big things is that the Biotic explosions are specialized against armor and barriers. But as you saw there, even against shields, the combo is actually rather effective. And there's a hunter sneaking up on friends. Set him off. Wait for the power recharge, and he's dead. I like this position because it gives me high ground advantage over anything that's trying to come up this way, which is a hell of an advantage to have at any given time. But it also gives me good visibility on this entire side of the map. I generally have a more defensive playstyle, and the Singularity, you'll see here, it'll kill him by itself. I don't need to do anything. The fodder characters, generally I don't have to actually do the combo. And because Singularity offers crowd control as well, it's really easy for me to just wait on the trash characters. The explosions are mostly there for tougher things, like pyros. But when you are setting up combos, each power can only be detonated once. So, one Singularity hit, one Shockwave, one Singularity, or a dead thing. That guy's dead, I don't have to worry about him anymore. That guy, I think the Singularity might have expired too soon, but it appears to have gotten him nonetheless.
A messenger with enemy fleet intel was shot down in the area. Hack the security on the data terminal.
Where the fuck is it? The Biotic combos detonated by shockwaves are quite possibly one of the strongest in the game, because Shockwave gets a very large bonus to combo detonation. Warp gets a 50% bonus, but it also adds additional range to the combo as well. It's pretty important if you're going to play a power-based character to experiment with that sort of thing. There are a few characters you can play power-based that you don't have to detonate combos, but the combos themselves will also stagger things like Praetorians and whatnot when they're doing their sync kills. I've saved allies' lives more than a few times with that. Waste. The other really nice advantage of playing power-based instead of weapon-based is that the threshold to efficacy is a bit lower. You can get power modules that increase the... See, I hate that fucking bug. Sometimes Shockwave just goes through people and doesn't hit them. And generally when that happens, this build is about useless for a couple waves. Another reason that I buffed Singularity's damage. Because Singularity is fun, but Shockwave sometimes just doesn't like to work anymore. But the warp build doesn't have the same problem, and I think that'll be the next video that I make. I guess I'm just useless for the rest of this match. When your whole thing is detonating combos, and now you can't detonate combos because one of your abilities just doesn't work anymore. See, I just went right through him and didn't hit him. And that was a display bug that happens pretty often too. I actually had him affected by a singularity, but you just couldn't see the singularity. It's worse with some characters than others, but that one happens pretty frequently too. Cool. And the singularity bugged out just in time. And the shockwave's bugged out just in time for Prime to arrive. Oh hey, they're working again. Never mind. I got this guy. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of bugs in this one. I'm wondering if there's a latency issue with the host.
That's all of them. Good work. Stay alert. Enemy is regrouping. We've got confirmed reports of a double agent uploading intel. Find that data terminal and gain access. Breach in progress. Remain here for better connection.
Another nice part about the singularity is you can actually fire it through walls as well, or the shockwave. And because you can get it through walls, it gives you other tactical options.
Clock's ticking. Get in and get it done. Half the security protocols are down. Keep going.
It can be a bit difficult sometimes to play a power-based character with people who have all the good guns unlocked. A lot of the guns in the game are magnitude stronger than their powers will be. Now the extraction point's usually here.
Shuttle on its way. Get to the
Yep.
designated LZ.
I'm hoping the cover system is refined a bit more in the next one. It seems to cause problems as often as it fixes them. Let's get this under control.
Approaching LZ. Get moving.
Set the extraction zone.
Extraction complete. Mission accomplished.
I missed the first wave of this one, I think, but that's fine. Not that important. The first wave isn't terribly interesting anyway. But that's how you do the Singularity Shockwave detonator. So, thank you, and hope you join me next time.